Hello and welcome to another one of Demon212's VC Reviews. Today I'm going to be having a look at the sublime Bobble on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Highly regarded as one of the best, if not the best, co-op games ever made. This really is a game that you need a friend with. Just sit down with a friend and go through it. The music is fantastic. For a NES game, the graphics are alright. They're nothing special. They're not as good as the likes of Kirby's Adventure. But as I say, the music's fantastic. I'm actually going to be quiet at the start of this review when I go into the game, simply so you can listen to how wonderful it is. It's one of those that once it gets into your head, it won't get out for weeks. You'll be humming it and humming it. But very quickly before I go into the game, as you can see, you've got 1p start, 2p start. You can continue from the last round, so that means if you die, then rather than typing in a password, you can just jump into that. And obviously the passwords. The passwords are different between one-player and two-player games, so if you're in the middle of a two-player game and you go to one-player or vice versa, remember to write the password down even if you think you've already got one for level 29, because it might be different. Okay, I'm going to shut up now then. There we go. I personally, as I say, I think that's a fantastic piece of music. Whole premise of the game is an evil warlock, like a little wizard type guy, really not happy with you. He's not happy that you're so happy, basically, so he transforms you and your brother into Bub and Bob, well, to be fair, your names are Bub and Bob to begin with, but transforms you into these little dragons that spit bubbles and kidnaps your girlfriends. Whole object of the game, as you can see, is quite simple. You have to spit an enemy into the bubble, and then using the spines on your back, you have to pop the bubbles. There are items on other Bubble games that don't make it into this one, which is a shame, like fireballs, so that's pretty much all you've got. However, you do, on this version, still get the water bubbles, so you pop them and a stream of water comes down and carries you along the stage and can kill enemies in your way. And the lightning bolt bubbles, where when you pop them, it fires a lightning bolt on the side that you fired, well, that you hit with your spines, I believe. It's kind of like an inverted thing. If you face them right, you'll fire left, you know. It is really a co-op game, as I said before, because while it can be played in one player, as you're seeing now, you can't beat the game unless you're on two player, and both players have to actually be alive when you kill the end boss. Otherwise you don't get the good ending, you just get a please try again with a friend. So while that may be really infuriating to some people, and to be fair, it can be, because at the wrong time your friend will die, or your brother, and you'll be like, ah, and you'll want to kill him even though it's not really his fault. As I say, while it can be infuriating, it's something to extend the lifespan. There are 100 levels in all, although the NES version has a few extras. There is a way, if you find a secret door, to get an extra, I think it's 25 levels. I'm not 100% sure how many it is, because to be fair, I'm too busy playing the game to be counting. Absolutely fantastic game. For 500 points it is a steal, because as I say, this is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, co-op games ever to be made. Very quickly, I'll just say a few more things about the enemies. If you trap them in the bubble and they escape, they'll be angry, they'll turn red, and they'll start being faster, and they'll be more awkward and harder to kill. If you kill all the enemies bar one, even if he isn't in a bubble, he'll turn red and he'll be more awkward and harder to kill and the likes. There's a load of different enemies on this, some jump, some fire, some fly, and you have a time limit even though you can't see it. Oh, here's the water. You have a time limit even though you can't see it. If you take too long on a level, basically death will come after you. You'll hear a dun 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 dun, and next thing you know, a big white ghost is on you. And he's constantly flying around trying to kill you, and he'll get faster and faster, and it gets to the point where you're racing to finish a level before you can die. Life counter is hiding somewhere. To be fair, I have died a couple of times, so you won't be able to see it, but you get 3 lives per continue. However, every, I think it's 20,000 points, it might be every 50,000 points, you get an extra life, so that's pretty good. Infinite continues, so you can just jump back into it. Some people may think it's easy, but to be fair, even though it can be beaten in half an hour to an hour, depending on whether you're on one player or two player, it still is a fantastic game. You really can't fault it, in my personal opinion. Loads of different items. You can collect bubbles with letters in as well to gain extra lives. You can collect items to skip levels, and that's about everything I left to say, really. Oh, what? I knew there was something. Apologies. Later on in levels you will have to know how to do this. You can actually jump on your own bubbles. What you do is you put a bubble there and then you jump on them and you hold jump and you'll constantly spring on top of them. You actually get points for doing this, and you can also get points for popping bubbles even if there's no people in. So if you're going for high scores, the best thing to do at the end of a level after you collect the fruit is stand in a corner bashing the button to burst your bubbles. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.